Good morning, friends. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all doing well. It's Wednesday. You made it through half the week. Congratulations. You have made it halfway through. Happy hump day to all of you. Hope you're all doing great. Today this is Julie, Julie Hamilton, Life Builders, bringing you simple tips to build a strong and healthy life on. And that is the goal, right? To build a strong and healthy life so you're not just surviving, but you're thriving in your life. That's what I want to see from you guys, is just thriving and reaching the places that you know you can reach, that are deep inside you, that are calling out to you, and just being strong and healthy enough to get there. So you guys are an amazing group of people, and I know that you have it in you. Good morning, Kyle. Great to see you. I can't see anybody else, so that's the only name I can see right now, so say hi to me if you're there. Anyway, so today we're talking about the relationship between how and why, and how you have been able to endure the unthinkable things that you've gone through. Oh, there's Sarah. And how we can really focus on making it through things that seem unbearable. And that is what we're talking about today. And so I put in the bio how I made it through one college semester where I had 22 units and 3 jobs at the same time. Oh my gosh. I mean, full time in college is 12 units. And here's what happened. This was my last semester of my undergrad college. Good morning, Heidi. How are you? Oh, good. You're so welcome. I love you. Heidi's awesome, you guys. She lives in Idaho. Isn't that awesome? So anyway, she just came and visited us a couple of weekends ago, and it was wonderful to have her. So anyway, I was going to be graduating from college, and I was also going to be getting married. My parents were living in Texas at the time. They said, hey, we can only come out for one of those things. Which one do you want us to come out for? Like, we can't take off, you know, like June and July or whatever, those 2 things. So I made the decision to do both of those things on the same weekend. I was insane. I don't know what I was thinking, but I needed 22 units left of my college to get my BA. And so I decided, you know what? I can do anything as long as it's bearable. And I had a really good drive for being able to do this. I had a really good why. And the reason I wanted to do it was so that I could get done with school, so that my parents could come to my graduation and my wedding. So I took 22 units at college in one semester, and I was working 3 jobs. I worked at a restaurant in Claim Jumper. You guys ever been to Claim Jumper? They have like the big fat food. And Damien and I both worked there in Southern California. And I was also working at Valley Total Fitness, teaching fitness classes, and I also worked at another gym. Well, to me, like now, that seems so impossible, but I was able to do it because every day when I wake up, I just said to myself, anything is bearable as long as it's temporary. I knew why I was doing this, and I knew I was able to focus for that short amount of time, whatever it was, 8 weeks or 10 weeks, and I was able to do it. Good morning, Alicia. But listen, you guys have been through some things that seemed unbearable. And part of the reason that you've been able to go through them is because you understood your why. And that brings me to the quote I want to share with you guys this morning. Viktor Frankl is the psychologist. I just finished reading his book, Man's Search for Meaning. And the reason I read it is, and I'm going to give a book review next week, but the reason I read it is because I kept hearing about it, but I get kind of weary and nervous about books that they seem kind of weird. And I'm like, I don't know, is this in line with my values? And I don't know, but looking into the book, it's a story. He's a psychologist, and he is, this is during World War II, and he ends up going into concentration camps as a prisoner. And he ends up studying why people survive and why people die and why people give up from the psychologist's point of view, being with the prisoners, understanding the prisoners, their work, their labor, their mindsets. And he writes this book called Man's Search for Meaning. And he has this quote that really stuck out to me. He said, those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how. And it's so true. Haven't you seen those people that maybe lost a child, and you know, it's like that seems an unbearable burden, but yet they begin to focus on their why, and they turn their energy into, you know, like Polly Klaus, turn their energy into creating the Polly Klaus Foundation, and or creating foundations that keep families from having to suffer the same thing that they suffer. They find their why. Or, moms who are like single moms who are having to work the night shift and go to school. They're driven because they understand what their why is. My why is I want to get a better job so I can provide for my family. And that why enables them to be able to do the how. In this case, he is talking about in the concentration camps, the people that had a why to go on, the people that had the hope of someone on the outside, the hope of meeting back with your wife or your kids or your family. Those are the people that were able to survive the concentration camps because they had a why for surviving that how. And for him, what he did was he would begin to imagine himself, two things. He would begin to imagine himself giving a lecture in front of a crowd on the psychological aspects of being in a concentration camp. So he was envisioning that future. That was part of his why, was saying like, we're going to use this bad thing for something good. And then the other part of his why was he would also imagine conversations with his wife. And the day that he got taken into the concentration camp, the next day was his wife's 24th birthday, and they were separated that day, and he didn't know whether she was dead or alive. But he would have these conversations with her, and so he found his why. And I want to encourage you today, you might be going through something really, really hard, but when you find your why, you're going to be able to do it. Instead of just showing up for a job, if you have a why for going to that job, you are going to be able to endure it and to bear it. If you have a why for the task that you're doing, whether it's like creating something or reading something or whatever, you're going to be able to endure that thing. So I just encourage you this morning, good morning, Treba. I just encourage you this morning to find your why, and that's going to be able to allow you to do. So for me, my why for you guys is, my why is to help create lives that are stronger and healthier. And so that's what gives me the drive to come on here and think of topics and be tossing them around in my brain and come up with ideas to share with you, is because I want to see your life stronger and healthier. That's my why, and it makes it easy for me to do that. So anyway, I just want to wish you a very happy rest of the week, and just work on that. Just think about that. What's my why? Why am I doing this? Because you're going to be able to bear almost anything if you understand your why and your reason for doing it. Anyway, hope you guys have an awesome day, and may your minds be fierce and your heart strong and your spirit very kind today. I will see you on Friday. Have an awesome day. Love you. Mwah. Bye.